Hey, hello, hello, hello. Greetings, greetings. I hope all is well. I guess the camera doesn't want to stay away from me. It's like right in my face. See. So, happy New Year. Happy New Year a while ago, but Happy New Year again. Why not? Okay, I guess this is not too bad. I hope you're well with your family, with everyone around you, your friends, everyone you count dear. I hope everything is well, because I know we've been through some tough times, so I hope everybody's good. Welcome. My name is Reverend Dr. Marie Berville. This is a new year, where we're gonna be doing things differently, but nevertheless, we'll start again with the basics, with the way that we used to do them. But don't be surprised in the days to come if things start changing up on you. All right. So get used to it, but don't get too stuck. All right. I am not going to hold you too long tonight or this morning because it's really late right now. But it's just something that was burning up inside of me for me to speak out. And sometimes, I try to repress and repress and repress. And obviously, if I can come on right now, it must be something that really needs to come out. I know that the year just ended and we starting like generally we're starting a new cycle, but of course some other people may differ to see otherwise. Um But I know a lot of times there's a lot of conflict around mistakes, lessons that you may have you're supposed to learn because of things that have been done and they weren't done the way that you hope for or the way that your environment hoped for, and somehow been it's been tagged as a mistake or as some mistakes that you may have made in your life. I want to touch up on that because a lot of times I find so many people can be so discouraged, not necessarily because of the mistakes, but because of how people tend to treat them, how people in their lives, people that's supposed to love them, um, may see it otherwise, may treat them otherwise, may not treat them the way that they were hoping for. And in so doing, so when that happens, you feel differently about the lesson. In life, there's no mistake. You learn lessons. You either learn the lesson to grow or you learn the lesson to stay stagnant or to even go backward. It's all up to you. But I wanted to just encourage some people because this is for someone. If it's not for you, it's for somebody. Um, when it comes to life, when it comes to us growing up, being shaped to the person that we become tomorrow, it's not the momentum, it's not the greatness that we're in that shaped us, but it's usually all the stuff that we've been through prior to the greatness that we're in that supported our growth. So I want you to know that when you make mistakes, it is not necessarily because you're not good enough, you're not going to amount to greatness, you're not this, you're not. It's not what it's about. I want you to know that when things like that happen and people misunderstand you, because of something that happened. It could be anything. I mean, I don't want to go to the list of them. You could have made a mistake at some point. You used and abused, more or less abused drugs, and then maybe you caused a lot of problems in the family. Maybe it came to a point you became so addicted you stole stuff and stole expensive stuff and gave it away for $20 just so you could get high, something that was worth $500, but because you were so addicted you couldn't see that. And because, when people become so addicted, so sick physically and mentally, it requires a lot of help to rehabilitate them, to bring them back to the person that they were, they are, or that they could be. Um, so if you made a mistake like that, and today you are better, you're making better choices, you have become a better person, don't let people hold you back to the person you used to be. Because a lot of times people make that mistake. They have grown into a beautiful human being, and then they allow other people who are not even doing any better for their own life hold them back, from their greatness. Hold them back from who they could become. Hold them back to so many things that they could have accomplished. So, what is it that you're doing today? What is it that you did in the past, that at some point damage or cause some kind of damages into the life of your family, your immediate family, or your parents, your siblings? What kind of things have you done in the past, and for some reason you feel like you're still not forgiven? So when it comes to these things, you have to have the audacity to say that I'm not the person I used to be. I am a changed person. I'm not who you saw yesterday. Within the hour, we change. We're like a different person. I remember a person I knew, um, like sometimes some people just like to get on your nerves, and you don't have to do anything, or it's like some people just like to see you upset. And I became annoyed, you know, and I said something, and then the person was shocked, and they're like, "You're becoming more mean than before." And I laugh inside, but I didn't laugh out loud, because it's like, if you're poking the bear, don't think the bear is not going to react. Eventually, the bear can react. If the bear chooses to pay you no mind, it's just because the bear just think you're just a fool. But eventually, keep poking the bear. Don't be surprised if your neck, if your head and your bodies are in two different places. you know. But it was just funny. It was just funny because immediately it made me think about, how people sometimes, they always want something different. They don't want to remain, they don't want, it's like life is at peace, things are good. It's like they don't want to stay there. They want to, like, see something different. They want to do something different. And then when it doesn't work out, then they want to go back to what they used to have. It's like, okay, make up your mind. But nevertheless, forget that. But the main thing is that I just want to remind you that everything that you've been through, everything that you were, everything that you have gone through, all of that will shape you to become that, into that greatness, to walk into greatness tomorrow, to become that better person that you are tomorrow, or even already today. So don't let people keep pulling you into the past. Don't let people keep pulling you into things that you're no longer dealing with. You have to have the audacity to stomp your foot, stomp your foot down and say, enough. I'm not that person anymore. I have changed. This is, I don't have to tell you everything that I'm doing, but I said I've changed. Stop pulling me and making me feel like I have never changed and I'm nobody, and I'm not any better off than I was before. So sometimes you have to speak up, because I know sometimes it's so annoying to have to. It's like sometimes you want people to just read your mind. You want people to just like know already that I'm not that kind of person. I don't do that kind of thing. You know, uh, this is the way I go. Like I had someone that stopped at my house to do something, and by the time they come a couple times, they were getting comfortable. Next thing you know, their feet were on my furniture. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, am I visiting here or do I live here? And then they're like, oh, what's the big deal? When I go to this, uh, that's how they say it. They say it. When I go to the white people house, it's no big deal. I put my feet on furniture. I'm like, well, not the ones I know. Because even the ones I know, you don't put your feet up their furniture like that. It's so rude. So it's just sometimes, people will challenge you. And sometimes, let's say you were a criminal, you went to jail for killing somebody. It could be by accident or in purpose. And the minute you get out, the first challenge you have is someone who's going to do something stupid to you. So you feel like you want to strangle them. You feel like you just want to, like, withdraw, go back to who you were. But don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Because, everything that you're seeing, it's not about the physical, but it's also about the spiritual. So sometimes you have to have the discernment to take a step back and say, you know what? This is not my crowd. This is not my environment. This is not where I need to be. This is not where I'm supposed to be. I have somewhere greater to go. I have someplace bigger to handle. I have someone more important waiting for me. This is not for me right now. This is not for me today. So have the guts to stand up for yourself, to take a stand for yourself. Even when it feels so uncomfortable, it might not feel so cool. People might not see you as cool anymore because you don't want to allow them to just do anything that they want to you, that they want to do to the things around you, to your children, to your sibling, to your whatever. People want to do whatever they want to do to be comfortable where they're at, but they don't want to do the sacrifices that it requires for you to be comfortable. So what about you? Aren't you important too? Don't you want to be comfortable? Don't you want to have a good life too? So don't let people fool you. Don't let people force you to bend over backward, to make you bend in ways that you never even thought you could bend so they could be comfortable. Don't let them say things to you just so they can minimize you small enough so they can feel big. All right? I know this is like a lot. You might have to like listen to this again because it requires a lot of digestion. Your digestion better be good to digest this message. It sounds simple, but when it comes to doing it, it's a different ball game. So just remember that it's everything around you, everything that is in your present, in your past, in eventually in your future. Everything shape who you are. Everything, no matter what it is. If you used to work as a waitress, you worked at the bank, you work as a waitress, you know how to read properly a receipt. When they give you your receipt, if they cheat you, you can see it right away. If you worked at the bank and they charge you an extra fee they weren't supposed to, you know it. If you work as a medical assistant, you know that you can get a conference with a doctor. You don't have to make an appointment all the time for them to charge you. So it's like everything that you learn, everything that you've been through. If you've been an assistant coach, so you know eventually how to handle a little league, and eventually maybe you have your own little league. you know no matter what it is that you do, you work at a restaurant, now you know how to prepare some very, very, very tasty food. So it's like, no matter what it is, you work at the doctor's office. um you learn some new tricks. You learn something about insurance. If you work at a car insurance, you learn some new tricks. If you get into an accident, you'll know what to do. You know what they cover. You can read between the lines. You can really read it where you can actually understand it because you've been through it. You've been there. You've worked there. You've talked to the people there. You've had so much experience there. So just remember everything that you've been through, that you have two, three children and you don't have any male support in your life, you've been doing it all alone. All that is knowledge. All that is, I mean, unspeakable knowledge, unspeakable wisdom that nobody else could have put in your head but the experience. When you have experience, I mean, no one can take that away because it's in your head. You know, um, it's not like when someone hands you something, if someone is like, oh, you here, I give you this beautiful notebook. And then once you make them upset and they come back and they say, you know what, give my notebook back. I changed my mind. But when it comes to wisdom, no one can take that away. Oof, I need some lotion on that finger. I have an allergy reaction on one finger. Don't ask me what happened. It's a long story, but not really. um, so that's it. you know, my spirit tells me that's it. That's all you need to know. The rest of it, I'll save for you on another video. But just go through that right now. So let that sink in right now. I don't want to put anything extra that's going to confuse you, that's going to make it worse. So just let that sink in right now. Let that information sink in right now. Um, that you are the sum of all the experiences in your life, not just one experience. Because at the end of your life, you went to Harvard or Columbia or whatever, you know, it doesn't take away the fact that at some point you went to public school or you did homeschooling. That still stays with you. So you're gonna become later on the sum of all of those experiences, not just the one or two, three experiences that you went through, but you're going to be the sum total of everything that you've been through. That they were good, bad, ugly, bitter, sweet, whatever it was, all of that is going to become part of the greatness you're walking into today. So until next time, peace and love and blessing. Thank you so much for hanging with me for a minute. So I hope you get to subscribe if you haven't already. Certainly click that like and share with your friend, your cousin, because there's always someone who is in need of this. And all the time, people are asking me the same questions over and over again. And I tell them, go back to the channel, follow up with the channel. Don't just, captivate or obtain the knowledge when I just go live. There's other times I do submit like videos. So take all that in, okay? So it's a new year. I hope you're wonderful. I hope you get to see how amazing you are, how great you are day by day. Things are just improving, things are getting better. Don't let anybody put in your head that you cannot do better, you cannot be better, you cannot go higher than where you are. You you are doing it. You are doing it. You're getting there. Just trust and believe. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself. Prior to trusting other people, trust in yourself so you don't get hurt later on. Don't be too naive to always believe in people and you're forgetting your own self. So, again, until next time, this is your Reverend Dr. Mary Berville. Share, like, subscribe. Okay. Thank you. Namaste. Mwah.